I absolutely love this 3x4 fabrication table I bought from JMR. It's the very same table you guys have seen us make our videos on. It's extremely versatile, we get a lot of utility from it, and it doubles as our welding cart. The top plate itself is constructed of 1/2 inch thick steel, and it has 5 by 5/8 slots cut into it. The slots come in super handy for when bolting down fixtures. There are 21 slots on the table, and in order to fully utilize them, JMR provides a clamping kit. This one is made in China, but it is pretty useful. But for a little bit more money, you can get an American made set. This one's made by Tico, and it's very nice. The top plate is supported by twin 2.5 inch square tubes that run across the full length of the table. The nice thing about the tubes is you can easily add accessories using a trailer hitch. The table itself is supported by 4 legs that are dimple died for strength. I use the holes on the legs as storage for the cables of the welding equipment, and at the very bottom of the table it's supported by 4 casters that enable it to roll around easily. Like I said before, I absolutely love this 3x4 table from JMR, but the way I set it up, it does have a few shortcomings. My first problem is while the table has a lot of space for my welding equipment, it doesn't provide any space for my argon bottles. These bottles I have here are only temporary, as I will eventually get bigger mother bottles. My second problem is since I loaded the vise and the XRP crimper onto the table, it's become a little crowded. Working on big items like this exhaust gets tricky. The third problem is when grinding, the dust gets everywhere and falls through the slots onto the welding equipment. Not very ideal. So I gave JMR a call, and Jim, the owner, said that an even bigger table was available. JMR has a few more products that I decided to pick up as well. I'm also boxing up this brand new unused manual JMR tubing bender. The reason being is I'm exchanging it for an electric bender that they also have. With an electric bender, it's so much portable as it bolts onto the side of the JMR fabrication tables, and then you can just move it anywhere you need to bend tube. With a manual bender such as this, you have to find a place in the concrete to bolt it down to, and it takes up so much room. So I'm going to box this all up and ship it out. Here I am moving the Challenger away from the 2-post lift, as I'm going to use it to raise the table as it's so damn heavy. Afterwards I rented a truck and went to see JMR. So I met with Jim at JMR and he was super cool. He gave me a tour of their facility and it was awesome. Unfortunately I don't have any video because I was in a rush, as I only had the rental truck for 24 hours. Once I figured out how to center the table onto the truck, I was able to get it down with the 2-post lift. Here's what the table looks like on the floor. It looks absolutely amazing. The table measures 4 feet across by 8 feet long. The 8x4 table is extremely similar to the 3x4 table, only that it's 2 2/3 times bigger. It's still constructed with a 1/2 inch thick top plate, and it has the same 2.5 inch square tube channels, but this time it's on all 4 sides. Here are the 1/2-inch bolts that JMR provides to torque down the trailer hitch accessories. The fabrication tables usually come with a bottom storage shelf like this one on a 3x4. But for the 8x4 table, I wanted to have rectangular tubing around the perimeter, as this provides a couple of options. First is I now have an area to put my argon bottles. I'll have to weld in saddles and lay the bottles on their side, but with the mother bottles horizontal, they'll fit there perfectly. Second is the horizontal rectangular tubing is mounted low, so you can use a pallet jack to pick up the table and move it around the shop. I still need to get a pallet jack and some leveling feet, but it'll be the perfect way to move this heavy beast. The tabletop comes with 49 of the 5 5/8 slots, providing way more surface area for working on projects. Here are a few products that I purchased from JMR that I featured on our previous video. Here is a 1-inch round tubing die, as well as their 7-piece dimple die set, and when I picked up the table, I also got a couple of their billet aluminum receiver hitches. I mounted our JMR tubing notcher on this particular receiver hitch. The receiver allows height adjustments by loosening the Allen bolts, and the bearing on the bottom allows the shaft to spin around smoothly. The notcher also comes with a set of adapters so you can utilize different hole saw sizes. Slap on your hole saw, throw in some tube, start notching. The quality of JMR's products is simply superb. I mean, this is their base notcher, and there's a more expensive version than this. But this piece I have here is just utterly beautiful. Here are some extra pieces of square tubing left over from the manual bender stand. I returned the manual bender because instead I got this, JMR's hydraulic tube bender. Our hydraulic bender comes with this Balder Reliance electric motor to power the pump. It's full of fluid and ready to bend out of the box. Here's the sound of the pump and how the piston operates. So with a flick of a lever I can make the piston go forward and retract. With this setup, bending tube will be super precise. I chose to mount the hydraulic bender on a 3x4 table, that way it'll be really portable. Like the notcher, the hydraulic bender is mounted on a billet aluminum receiver hitch, making height adjustments very easy. I also picked up a 1 3/4 round tubing die with a 6-inch centerline radius. I needed it because SCCA requires a centerline radius that's 3 times greater than 1 3/4 tubing. The hydraulic motor on top of the table is just temporary, and most likely I'm going to weld up a shelf for it underneath. There's no doubt that JMR Manufacturing's products are top notch. I mean, just check out this pin from the tube bender. It's the highest of quality. JMR has a cool website and all, but the pictures of their tools on there don't really do them any justice. You really have to see their tools in person just to see how much heart and soul they put in each of their products. Once we get a pallet jack, we'll be able to move the table anywhere in the shop. That's pretty much it from us today, guys. We just wanted to show you what JMR's products look like in brand new condition. And if any of this stuff interests you, give Jim a call at JMR Manufacturing. He's really cool and will help you out. Alright, for O'Reilly's Productions, catch you guys later.